Damn, that song is popping. Sheesh. What's good, everybody? Guys, do me a favor, leave a 1 down into the building if the mic is coming through exceptionally well. Would wholeheartedly appreciate that. That goddamn beat is so crazy. I'm about to hold on. While y'all put 1s down into the building, hold up. Let me let me throw that up real quick. We about to get it popping, though. Trust me. Trust me. Hopefully y'all can hear it. You know what? As this plays a little bit too, guys, I want you to put your cities down into the building. I don't care if you're not in America. I want to hear a city, a state, a province, wherever you from. Let's understand where the community is from. Let's understand how we bringing everybody together. You understand what I'm saying? And then we're going to get this content popping, all right? Cities up. Let's see you. Cities up. Let's get it. Oh, San Antonio, I see you. Many in the building. Buffalo, Kansas, Orlando, Tampa in the building. Atlanta, I see you. Barbados. We got the internationals in the building. Canada, I see you. Chi-Town, New York in the building. Hold up. That beat is crazy. Compton, I see you. Philly, I see you. You can't hear the music? Harlem in the building. Chicago in the building, I see you. Georgia in the building. Columbus, Georgia in the building. Trinidad, Rochester in the building. I used to live up in Rochester. Hopefully you guys can hear the music. What up? Shout out to everyone that's down into the building. Detroit, I see you. Jacksonville, I see you. It's always super dope to see like all of these cities and stuff, and then can count more often than not the cities that you've actually been to. You know what I'm saying? I see you guys down into the building. Well, hopefully you guys can hear that song. You know what I'm saying? That beat is absolutely incredible. I get so many goddamn questions on that beat. There'll be more information regarding the beat coming sometime into the future. Shout out to everybody that's down into the building. We're gonna make sure everybody comes in so we can get this particular content started. You understand what I'm saying? Guys, I thought that it would be appropriate to do a live discussion regarding the content that was released today. Now, I will tell you, the plan was to drop a video, sometime in the afternoon, which was the Kerry Hilson video, and then I was gonna drop another video today, right? Like later today, this evening. You know what I'm saying? And I just got back from the gym. For those that are not a part of the gaming channel, I just joined the fighting gym. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it on this channel before. I used to do martial arts as a kid. So I just recently joined the fighting gym. I do BJJ, right? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and boxing is the main disciplines. And I kind of switch between BJJ as well as MMA within this gym. And there's killers in this gym. You guys will see, I got all my arms is all cut up and shit like that. So I got out the gym, and then my plan was to go home and to post the video that I had planned for today. And then I took a look at the comments and the views of this Kerry Hilson video. All right. I took a look. Shout out to the super chats that are coming in. Nicholas, I see you. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Oh, I see 2 members join the building. Drop those emojis. You now have access to them. Drop those emojis. Shout out to everybody. Holland in the building. Yo, Amsterdam. Woo! I got some stories about Amsterdam. But anyway, I was going to come through, drop that video. But then after I saw all of the critique that I was receiving from both men and women regarding the content that I released, that I put up today, I said to myself, let's just go live about this to talk about this, because this particular topic, I don't think it's really talked about to this degree. And me labeling the term conditional femininity, I think that it's important to be able to do, because even I think that the majority of people don't even still understand with what I mean when I say that. Okay. So let's get active. All right. Guys, if there's one thing that, and by the way, I'm going to open up the phone lines as well. I want ladies to call in. If we don't get any ladies that call in, I want the dudes to be able to call in to see if you agree and or disagree with me. But I really want to focus on the disagreements. But ladies, you guys can call in. So For those of you, let me give you the background of what happened just in case you are not up to speed or privy with what I am talking about. Okay. I did a video, uploaded it earlier today, and it was a reaction based off of this. Okay. Carrie Hilson says men who provide emotional security and display wise leadership will get the softest, most feminine, relaxed, trusting, guard down, submissive, nurturing version of their woman, which in essence, I don't disagree with. And let me keep that clear right now. In essence, I don't disagree with that statement. And I made it very clear in the video, but most of the people that comment that disagree, my assumption is that they don't watch the entire video, or they come in with just preconceived notions of bullshit. So it is what it is. She then goes on to say, even successful, strong women want to feel safe enough to be soft. I don't disagree. That is our true nature. I don't disagree. Final point. The man who makes me feel safe will have the world. Listen, if she just left it at this comment right here and this comment right here, I don't think I would have had a video. Okay. But it's when you get down into this comment right here. Okay. Because herein lies the barrier that is created. Okay. Let me repeat. Herein lies the barrier that is created, because the current age of Carrie Hilson is what you would describe as a post-wall veteran. Okay. I believe she's 38 or 39 years old. Okay. My assumption is that she revels in the idea of conditional femininity and has created a barrier based off of safety when femininity may not be innate for her. Let me say something real quick. For all of the 8 or 9 ladies that are down into the building right now, if Carrie Hilson, as bad as what she visually is in her prime, she's still bad now today. Okay. If Carrie Hilson has a problem with attaining a husband, this should be your wake-up call. If she can't keep him, this should be your wake-up call. Because as bad as what she is, I know a lot of independent women lead with this success thing. As successful as what she is, as much money that she has in a bank account, which dudes keep on telling you, we don't care about those things. If she is unable to keep, then what does that say for you and all of your unrealistic, delusion-filled standards? We keep telling you guys what it is that we want, but you still say, I don't care. See her post, I'm going to just like her post because that's what I want. That's what I need. That's what I deserve. That's what I desire. But the real issue that I had with this post is the idea that there's a huge difference between conditional femininity and innate femininity. My argument is that the majority of modern women today lead with this idea of conditional femininity. That's why I named this stream Conditional Femininity, because for decades we have led down the logic path that while dudes need to do A through Z things, okay, in order to attain a woman, and once they do those things, then they get the truest and most comfortable form of femininity. My argument to that is that's completely bullshit. I think that men should come in with the highest degree of masculinity, and I think women should come in with the highest degree of innate femininity. Okay? That's what I believe. But this assumption that men need to go go into place or do things, right, in order to prove something, I think is logically flawed to a degree. Now, what I say in that video, in order for a woman to be in her highest degree of femininity, she needs a masculine dude. But the assumption that a dude has to be masculine is a given. But my issue is there is not that same assumption on women. So women are not understanding how impactful and powerful their femininity is to the degree of ignoring it. And here's the thing. There's content creators up on YouTube right now that have created platforms, right, to focus and hone in on what femininity is and why it's so important, and to walk and hone within your femininity. The views that those channels get are not even the views that happen over here. They're not even the views that happen over here. So by me doing this video, attempting to recalibrate or rejigger the importance of staying within, learning within, doing your feminine things. The reason why I'm doing that is because so many don't care about it, because they're listening to the WAP songs, stuck in the WAP matrix. I don't cook, I don't clean, all of that bullshit like that. Then they see a post like this, which takes full and utter accountability off of the things that they need to do to bring awesome things to a table, and puts it on the dude and act as if it's a switch. What? Like it's just a switch? That's like saying, yo, I've been watching LeBron play for like the last 15 years, right? I've been watching him play for how long now? It don't look that hard. And as soon as I get on the court, because I've been watching it haphazardly over the last 10 to 15 years, as soon as the team needs me, I'm going to be able to play like LeBron. No, doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Do you think it does? Because it doesn't work that way. Especially if you did not grow up in an environment where you had a two-parent household and you saw a successful marriage. Especially. Right? Especially. But this idea that women can live passively within their 20s, so much so that I've had numerous reaction videos to content creators interviewing young ladies, and the answer of "I am the table" is ridiculously prevalent even today. Even in this male media movement that's going on today, it's still the most prevalent answer. I am the table. And it's absurd. Men today are laughed at if they don't lead with masculinity. Laughed at. My contention is that we have normalized women not leading with femininity. And I think it's actually ever more prevalent within the Black community. All right. Guys, as I mentioned before, there's an inherent difference between those that exhibit conditional femininity as well as innate femininity. You've seen the innately feminine women walking around, and I salute y'all. Okay. You've seen them walking around. These are the ones that understand the power of their femininity. They're the ones that make us melt. I mean, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. These are the ones that make us melt. These are the ones that you go out your way to protect. These are the ones where you ask them about cooking. They don't do like this. Actually, a young lady the other day, because she said that she had heritage from it was from Jamaica. And I asked her, Oh, so you're from, such and such. Like, do you know how to make like some beef stew? Like, do you know how to make some beef patties? No, but I like to eat. I like to eat them. Now, imagine if a lady said to me, do you, are you okay with protecting? Like, nah. I'm okay with receiving protection. I'm okay with receiving protection, but like, this whole if it came down to it, like I just, meanwhile, you got dudes like myself working out my entire life, taking mixed martial arts classes, and very familiar with my Second Amendment rights. So again, actively working, passively working. Actively working, passively. I am the table. But the idea that men need to get on bended knee for conditional femininity is absurd. It's absurd how we live like this, because conditional femininity will turn off when the going gets tough. Let me repeat that. Conditional femininity will turn off when the going gets tough. So you want me to get on bended knee for someone who's not innately feminine, who that's not her normal, and she's pretending, she's faking it, and you expect me to put a ring on that and take that into perpetuity? What? Are y'all bugging? Are y'all bugging? Hold on, I'm thirsty. Cheers, everybody. Hopefully all of y'all got your red cups. Salute, salute, salute. You expect me to take you to the promised land and back for conditional femininity? So when the going gets tough, and let's say some shit happens that went against the plan that I forged for the unit, that's when all of the nurturing, hold on, let me bring back up. That's when the nurturing, the softness, that's when the guard goes back up. That's when submissive who? That's what conditional femininity is. And to me, that's a raw deal. That's a raw deal. So that's why we have content over on this side of the internet that's saying, nah, y'all, my G's. First of all, my G's, go after women that want you. And then the second thing is that if she's not working in on a component of her energy as derived by the femininity, kick rocks. Kick rocks. Because I'll be goddamn if we lead with the mindset that it's men's fault that y'all are not feminine or that y'all are not married. We're done pandering. The anti-pandering movement is now here. Welcome. Have a seat. Make sure that you take your shoes off at the front door and stay a while. All right? Because at the end of the day, we understand that those who are in their fake feminine, their wounded feminine, that have conditional femininity, if anything goes wrong, then the disrespect rears its ugly little head. Shout out to all the super chats that's coming in. I'm cooking right now. I'll get back into it and acknowledge. I appreciate you. All right. Also, here's something that we got to be mindful of as men. The ones that fake feminine until they get what it is that they want. Shit, you guys saw that community chat post that I put up earlier today in respect to the subscriber that hit me up with the young lady who is some like Will Smith entanglement shit. Who the guy, it was the guy, the lady, the terrorist, we'll call her the insurgent for right now, and then like some third dude, all right? The third dude end up dying, and then the insurgent went to the guy she's in a relationship with, has a baby already born, and is 4 months pregnant, and said, he was my first choice. So the going got tough, and the femininity went away. The insanity also came up as well, but I'm gonna do a whole video on that shit. I'm gonna do an entire video on that shit because I think that it's appropriate. Here's what my contention is. True femininity doesn't have an on switch. I think that it can be cultivated. I think women who are truly innately in their feminine are innately in their feminine the majority of the time. Yes, do they have to get out their feminine sometimes in order to protect themselves if someone is not da-da-da-da-da? Yes. Going into a dating relationship with a young man to convince him that she is worthy of the prize. Going within the assumption that it is conditional on her behalf is one of the biggest tricks in the book. It's one of the biggest tricks in the book. The switch up. But here's the thing. It's just as disrespectful for dudes that have conditional masculinity. It's just as disrespectful. Who acted like he was confident, he was assertive, he understands everything about the world that he needs to understand, that he's disciplined with his decision making, that he's logical, and then he ends up being a weak simp. That's conditional masculinity. Or if he hops into his wounded masculine, it's just as disrespectful. Okay. But I appreciate those, both male and female, for masculine and femininity, feminine energy. Okay. That they learn it to the degree that it becomes innate to them, not those that switch it on when the going is good. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, the bait and switch. I'm not familiar with that term for him, but shout out to him. And that's my issue, the bait and switch. That's my issue. She showed it for a little while. When things wasn't going her way, it just reared her ugly little head. All right, I can just let loose now. It's one of the oldest and the biggest tricks in the books, and I don't think there's actually enough content that speaks about that. So thank you, Carrie, for putting us on. Appreciate it. I think a lot of what actually goes into this as well is this whole nature versus nurture debate, right? Because there's components of, let's just take femininity right now, that women want to be within, from a nature perspective, within their feminine. And the more that they're able to dig deep down and be and nest within that, the happier that they will be. Same thing for the flip side for masculinity. However, we're hit from a nurture perspective, how you grew up, the media that you're exposed to, whether it be on TV, right? On the internet, right? Within the music that you listen to. That begins to misshapen this idea of what you should be leveraging. My argument is that while there are entities that push femininity to men, there's more entities that push masculinity to women. With a dribble of you are the table. So you have a conglomerate of modern ladies that think that through their delusion, they are the table, and they are years past getting a physical trainer. They are years past therapy. They are years past courtesy training, and don't want to do anything to dig down deep to improve, because they're passive within it, because they're pandered to, and anything that goes wrong, the panderers say, no, it's the dude's fault. It's the dude's fault. Guys, I'm going to open up the phone lines right now because I want to hear. Hold up. Where's the there it goes. Invite. Ladies, I want to hear from you guys. All right. Because I gotta hear from the I gotta hear from the ladies. I gotta hear from the ladies. Fact of the matter is that listen, Carrie, if she ever sees this, if you haven't figured out femininity by 38, it's a hard pass. That's why I said in that video, would I date her? Seriously, I would not. Okay. She's older than me. I believe she has a child. And I believe she used to be married, right? So she comes with a bunch of baggage. And it's just like, or I could get the actual things that I would want in a young lady, PYT, pretty young thing, and be happy that way. All right. Guys, there's way smarter ways. Let me drop it again. Shout out to Kevin. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I don't know if she has children. I quickly Google searched it and it said that she might have children. I don't know. I don't know. Link that up in there. Guys, call in. I want to continue this conversation. Fact of the matter is that I believe that there are smarter, way smarter ways, okay, to deal with dudes without letting your masculine fly to become more marriageable. I think that there's a bad assumption that being feminine is weak. All you got to do is to go to your next favorite femininity content creator, and that's the first things that they will say. Being in your feminine is not weak. But here's the thing. A lot of the media back in the day painted femininity as dumb, like a dumb blonde who just smacks her gum and like flips it around her finger and shit like that. But for you not to understand the power within that and how to leverage it correctly, okay, that's the issue that I have a problem with. I still think that there's a ton of dudes that still lead with the idea that no, she doesn't have to come in with her femininity. It just is what it is. That's actually one of the top comments. I can't find it anymore because I unpinned it to advertise this street. That's one of the top comments that I had. It just is what it is. I ended up pinning that comment because I thought it was going to elicit a fantastic conversation, which it did. It just is what it is. I say that we challenge that. I say that we challenge that. This whole idea of fake femininity, of conditional femininity, I think that it's bullshit. Okay, guys, I'm gonna open up the phone lines. I'm gonna put it down up in here one more again. Feel free to be able to call in. Hey, guess what? I got an ad. Support for today's video is brought to you by Manscaped, who are the champions in below the waist grooming. Guys, they just sent me over their latest release called the Lawnmower 4.0, and I'm simply blown away by its performance and embedded technology. Not only do they offer wireless charging, but also no nick technology, which is vastly important for protecting the family jewel. Shit, not too long ago, invited a pretty young thing over for an evening of fun, enjoyment, and excitement. Okay. Evening of, I tried to clean up the space, clean up the area with the old toolkit, the old tool set, and almost gave myself a vasectomy. Had to cancel the evening because of it. Because you know, never bring a wound to a thought party. Okay. It's bad for business. Guys, go up to manscaped.com, use promo code MTR to receive not only 20% off of your order, but also free shipping. Trust me, guys, your balls will thank you. On to the show. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look at this, you sons of bitches. It's got a light in this bitch. It's got a light. so you can see all of the nodules. You know what I'm saying? Get down in the undercarriage. Make sure that you clean it up sufficiently the way that it needs to be clean. All right, this is it right here. I wanted to make sure to show it to you guys real quick. Game changer. Game changer. All right, absolute game changer. Make sure that you guys are going down there and cleaning the area. All right. We talked about a couple of important things this week. Being able to clean the area. Shout out to Manscaped. Use promo code MTR. All right. Make sure that you guys are not nicking shit. All right. You don't want any wounds, right? No battle scars. You want to make sure that the area is sufficiently smooth as eggs. Okay. Also talked about flossing this week and the importance of that. I went to the dentist this morning. The importance of flossing. Guys, make sure that you're doing that shit every day. Grooming is essential. All right. You don't floss. You go down there in between the viscous innards and put your tongue down in there and turn the base into an acid. You know what I'm saying? You guys remember biology class back into the day. All right. You fucking up the pH because your mouth is dirty. All right. Show some respect. Did my stream just shut? Did my stream? Okay, I think my stream just froze. All right, we back. All right, listen, guys, for everyone that's calling in, make sure that your camera is on, okay? And make sure that your camera is straight, right? Make sure that you are in light and come professional. If you come in here with ashy knuckles, I will roast the shit out of you. If you come in here with look like you just woke up from a 500-year nap, I will roast the shit out of you. All right? I'm looking down into my goddamn lobby. Okay. Show some respect and some professionalism. We're not gonna let the bullshit up here no more. All right? Shout out to the super chats, Chris. I see you. Yeah, stop the I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, salute, my brother. We're gonna have a different degree of professionalism. You guys saw that I took off the hoodie and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I took off the hoodie. I come in here with nice shirts now. All right, and you guys still want to come up. You guys still want to come up in here and I'm seeing your fingernails, and your fingernails I got shit and dirt all in them. All right. I'm gonna put in the link in here one more again. Come up here. First to the stage. Hold on. Let me also put in my headphones. TJ, how are you?
Fine. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm doing exquisite. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. I'm gonna put in my headphones real quick so I can hear you better, but I can hear you right now.
Okay. I saw the post that you posted earlier with respect to Carrie Hilson and that it was conditional, that you believe is conditional feminism. And I think I'm
femininity.
Sure. Well, yes, femininity. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And I spoke from the standpoint that as a 54-year-old married woman,
mm-hmm.
I don't think she means it that way. And again, I have no way of knowing, but I don't think that she means it that way. I believe what she is saying is that the environment has to be right, you know, and what I mean by that is, you know, women, we want to be feminine. Well, we are feminine inherently. We want to be soft. We want to be demure. I think that is always how we enter into a situation.
False.
Say again?
False. That's not how you always enter into a situation.
To your experience. To your experience.
To the most of the dudes who are in this chat's experience.
Okay.
So just real quick. So I don't disagree with you. And I tell the dudes up here, these are the things that you have to elicit within your masculinity because women need security. They need security. It's a part of their evolutionary biology. In order to feel comfortable to nest, they feel the most value within that when they're with a masculine dude. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that component of the post. But I think that I'm in the dating game today, and you've been out the dating game for a long time.
No.
How long you been married?
3 years.
4 years?
3.
3 years. It's your first marriage?
Second. I was divorced and single for 17 years before I met my husband in 2018. So when I say to that to you, I'm not saying from a position of not being out there.
Okay. So, okay. But you led with femininity and you
Yes.
were able to remarry.
Yes, but
Okay.
it's just like I stated, I'll just speak to my situation. I
Sure.
entered in every time with wanting to, lay back and allow the man to lead. And again, it always started strong.
Yeah.
It always started strong, because women and men, we lead with our representative and the true person eventually comes out. Well, that often happened. And because like I stated, a lot of time when you find yourself in that situation, whether it's by your own I'll just say by my own doing, because I was choosing those people and allowing them to choose me. You have a tendency to revert or resort to the masculine because stuff still has to be handled. Business still has to be taken care of. And then you do it as a matter of survival. But what I did learn, and some women have to learn, is that we have to look at how the people that we're attracting, because I had to do that.
And I don't disagree with you. And I think a large component of understanding your femininity and your feminine energy is understanding what type of dudes to look out for. But if we don't have these conversations, then women won't get it until it's too late. They won't get it till it's too late. And the thing is like, I don't disagree with what the things you're saying. And I push this idea of masculinity amongst dudes to have a space for women to be able to nest. And it sounds like we agree right there. The component that I don't agree with is the majority of what I see in the game today. They're not leading with that. They don't know how to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to do these they want the traditional contract, but they are not the traditional woman. Okay. So until marriage comes up with a modern version of marriage, call it marriageship, call it relational marriage, whatever, but it's got to come up to something different in order for more men to adhere to a traditional doctrine, because they're not getting traditional women. And that is my argument. And within that, they're saying that, well, it's the guy's fault, and they being pandered to for so goddamn long, is that they innately think that, well, he's not masculine enough. Meanwhile, dudes, if you go into a situation and you are deemed not masculine, you are laughed at. But within our culture, and especially in Black culture, women lead with, more often than not, lead with masculine characteristics or behavior, to the fact of that women today don't see any difference with the amount of body counts that they have in comparison to dudes. That's masculine. When dudes are saying, we don't want high body count women. That's masculine behavior. That is masculine energy driven by the media.
Yes.
The slut walks, the music.
Yes.
The music. Meanwhile, Beyonce talk about all this independent stuff, but she already had found a husband. So to me, she was appropriating what was in style at that time, feminism. But meanwhile, behind scenes, she's not independent. So here's the thing, is that unless we have these conversations, what actually is happening today won't surface to light. And if it doesn't surface to light, way more modern women today will be impacted before they even realize it.
Okay.
All right. Can I say something? Okay. I need a bullet point, and then I gotta move on to the next one. What's up?
Well, I was just going to say, we didn't get here overnight. And I was just, interestingly enough, I just had a talk with my mom, actually an interview with my mom, who is 72. We were duped, largely her generation was duped by feminism, because it was never intended for Black women anyway.
Yes. Big facts. And so I got a video on that.
Yeah, it wasn't intended for us. So we didn't get here overnight. And, these conversations, one by one, it will evolve. But we did not get here overnight, and it's not going to be fixed overnight.
I'm with you. But, even the dudes are stepping up the plate to try to fix it. But I think it's going to take efforts from both. I think it takes dudes
like me are flirting with two younger women in hopes that they will listen.
Well, listen, a lot of them don't. So, but keep on working. DJ, I appreciate you coming through. All right. I appreciate it. All right. Come back anytime. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Next
to the stage. Hold up. I just thought about showing y'all a quick ad real quick, because, Manscaped sponsored me. Anyway, I won't do that to y'all. Palau, how are you?
Oh, hi.
Who was that in the background?
Oh, that was my brother.
Okay. What's good, brother?
Sorry about
It's all. I just had to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. So my name is it's a Hebrew name, so it's Palau Shiraz. So yes. Nice to meet you, brother.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Yes, I definitely watch your videos quite often. So
yeah,
I want to make sure I give you your props. You know.
Thank you.
So anywho, I kind of got on a little late, but to the elder sister's point about, you know, some younger women aren't really getting it and how to stress the point of femininity. Now, for me now, that is an importance because as a young woman, you see what's going on. Like you see how certain elders has failed us. You see how they have led us astray in a way. So that's why I find it very important for women to be more feminine, to be homemakers, to be, you know, carers of the home and stuff like that. Be fit and everything. Like it all ties back into getting our men back. Period. You know what I mean? So
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Oh, I thought you were going to disagree with me. So was there anything of the post that? Okay, so how about the post in it of itself? Was there a component of the post? I'm gonna put it back up here on the stream, because here's the thing: as I said, I agree with this. Emotional security and display wise leadership. Yes, it will get them in there. I also think that it's a two-party street because there's many modern ladies today that don't give men emotional security as well. Right. You tell them something in confidence, and they go tell their homegirls and their family. You know what I'm saying? That's not emotional security. So I think it kind of goes both ways. But anyway, wise leadership, of course. All right. I tell the dudes all the times on this channel, you have to understand the world. You have to. It's incumbent on you to understand the land that you live in. You have to. You cannot be a leader. You cannot expect to lead if you don't know the path forward, at least directionally correct. You know what I'm saying? At least directionally correct. All right. You can't be a wise leader if not. All right. And then it really wasn't until the last portion of this, the man who makes me feel safe will have the world. This is to me, this is more the conditional femininity stuff. So was there anything based off of the post in itself that you disagreed with?
Now, however, I do agree with the fact that, you know, women do want to feel secure. That is a woman's nature, is to feel secure and to feel, you know, safe. Like the same pyramid of needs and wants, women do want the same thing, to feel secure. However, I would say is that for men and for women, women have to choose, definitely have to choose better for sure. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. I apologize, but
no, you good.
Okay, but women have to definitely, you know, choose the right person. They can't be choosing no Pookie and Ray Ray and stuff like that and calling that, oh yeah, he's secure. But certain women will deem that, oh, he's flashing money, he got a Rolex and stuff like that as being secure, as being emotionally secure. But they're not really taught. They don't have proper examples of real security from a real man. Now, I'm not married, so I have that example from my father. And from you other men as well, y'all can also, you know, I know you said you step up the plate and help out with, show other brothers as well to be better men as well. So I definitely appreciate that. So I don't think I disagree.
No worries. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mama. Thank you for calling in. You feel free to call back anytime. All right.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Next to the stage. Matter of fact, let me take a look at this. Hold up. Hold on one second. Let me get this off the screen. For the people that are coming down into the lobby, turn on your cameras. All right. This is a visual platform. All right. All right. For all of the ladies that are down into the comments not agreeing, I can't see you. StreamYard link is right here. Call in. Make your point be known. Get about the comment section. All right. This is the platform. If you have a disagreement with something, come up here. Let's talk about it. Right? I'm not going to cut you off. What you're scared of? You shouldn't be scared. All right. Let's just have a discussion. We like to critically think up here. Right? We like to have cerebral thought, cerebral discussions. Take a look at the last ladies that came through. Right? First one completely kind of disagreed with me. Second one didn't. Those were good conversations. Ladies, come up here. Let's talk about this conditional femininity that you guys want to hold on to. Okay, let's have a conversation. Next to the stage. Hey there, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. And you?
I'm doing well, Mama. Now listen, I'm assuming you have something to disagree with me on. So let's start there.
I was on here previously. This time, my thoughts are more put together because I've already seen this post from the Shade Room and already had my thoughts about it this time.
Okay, so what do you disagree with me on?
So I only disagree about I think it was with the first woman who came on talking about how we don't come to the scene in our femininity, basically. Like, we don't show up relaxed in our femininity. I agree in the fact that a majority of women do, but then I feel like some of us do show up and we are relaxed in our femininity, but we have to exit because of some of the behaviors that men display.
Are you a feminine woman, Amanda?
I would say so in some ways.
How do you display your femininity? What makes you feminine?
So depending on the situation, really, but
so conditional. See this? Yeah, I mean, you just said.
Yeah, well, because I'm in a male-dominated major, so sometimes I have to display more brash.
I'm talking about in relationships. I'm not talking about with what you have to do in the workplace, because I've said before that women have to turn energies on and off more often than what dudes do. But let's go in with this idea that you consider yourself a feminine woman, but then also you say that it depends on the situation. Does it depend on the situation when you're with your significant other?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so how are you a feminine woman with your significant other? What makes you? How would your significant other describe what the things that make you feminine?
Saying this means significant other, as in we are in a relationship, we are committed to each other, and that's that. Not
it doesn't matter. There's a difference. So it's conditional, dependent upon the stage of the relationship.
Yes, because if we're in the talking phases and stuff like that, I'll be feminine, but there's certain things that I won't do that some people do consider feminine. For example, listening and submitting to an extent, because I've had people tell me to drop my life, drop my schoolwork and stuff like that for them, and if they're not giving me good advice, I'm not going to follow them, if that makes sense. But I don't mind leading, following after a man who's leading responsibly and realistically. But if he's got some opinions I disagree with, or that are not beneficial for any person in the relationship, I'm not going to submit to that.
Why are you dating them? I'm so confused. Why are you dating them if they're not demonstrating masculine behaviors?
That's what I meant by it depends on the level of relationship, the talking stages versus the you're in a relationship.
So when you say talking phase, what exactly are you talking about? Is the talking phase? Are you saying that's not the dating phase?
Well, the talking stage is we just met. It's been maybe 2 weeks.
Okay. When was your last relationship? Let's start there.
In March.
Okay. Did you display conditional femininity with your last relationship? Yes.
Yes, but it was a weird relationship which is why it ended. It was confusing. The guy was bisexual, so.
What the fuck? Oh, you know how to pick them.
College.
Jesus. The first lady got up on here and said that that one of the biggest issues is that our young ladies don't know how to pick men. Did your father help you in your decision to date him?
No.
Who do you go to for help to date?
Well, usually I go to my father and my mother, but this is my first time dating away from them. So they don't really get the full picture when I'm explaining to them who I'm pursuing over the phone.
Did you know he was bisexual before you started dating him?
Yes, I was trying to give him a chance. I was just, because I'm learning my boundaries. Now I know that is a boundary that I will not cross again. But I was just open to the idea, came in with open mind, didn't like it, it's not for me. We won't be revisiting it.
Okay, so was he a masculine man?
At first. when he was initially pursuing me, but then as we were dating, he started to display more feminine traits, which is why I broke it off.
What, if you don't want to say what city you in, what portion of the country are you in?
Well, I was dating in Houston, Texas, in a college town, so.
But you have the whole Houston to date. Why would that be your, like, why not a heterosexual masculine man? Because that's a big city. I've been to Houston.
Well, I'm dating within a smaller town within Houston. It's a college city, so it's like a little bit smaller. It's mostly the people at my school that I was choosing from, and it's a white institution. So
okay. So what I'm hearing is that it was a weird situation, but you practiced conditional femininity because he was a bisexual man that switched.
Yes, that is correct. Pretty much.
I think that you need help vetting men going into the future. You know what I'm saying? How old are you?
I am about to turn 19.
Okay. Yeah. The first lady that came on said that there's a lot of young ladies that don't know how to pick, and you are early enough to be within that demographic. So this whole issue of conditional femininity, I agree with you. That's a different version of a situation that I was not prepared of.
Different.
Would you date older guys?
Yes, I'm open to that.
Okay. There's a lot of older guys that are masculine as hell in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I've dated around, and I have like dated some masculine men. That was just the most recent one that you asked about.
Okay. So you got to understand, last thing, and then I will, because I know you're young, you're still learning, and I want to be too hard on you, but there's a bunch of red flags here that, like, let's say like we were dating, I would hear these things and I would say, yeah, she doesn't make decisions or know enough about the world correctly yet. She'll just be a fun time. So I think that there's a component of understanding who you are as a person, understanding the degrees of how to leverage your femininity, not from a conditional perspective, but from more of a innate perspective, as well as getting help with choosing men to date going into the future. I think doing all those things would probably help your situation. I know you didn't ask for it, but I wanted to talk about it. All right.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree.
All right. Listen, Amanda, I appreciate you calling in. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care. Next to the stage, Mrs. Griffith.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well.
What did you disagree with me with? I already know you're going to disagree. What's good?
MTR, I do not disagree with you. Okay. Most of the men in this manosphere. Listen, the problem that we women are having these days is this simple. Like you said with the last one, not knowing yourself, not knowing who you want to date, not knowing what you really want from that relationship. So you go in with all these walls up and you go in half stepping. Okay. They go in thinking they want one thing, but they really don't really know what they want. So at the end of the day, you get the quote fake femininity out the gate, or you get the uber masculine wife later on, you know, and I think that's just really what it boils down to. As a woman that's been married for, how long have we been married? 10 years, 11 years, almost 11 years. I was a single mother before that. I went through my own stuff, my own muck and my own mire. And I actually had to sit back myself and say, what did I do to screw up this situation? What did I do to get myself into this situation?
Accountability.
And women aren't taking accountability. And that's what it boils down to. We screw up. We screw up majorly. It's just easier to blame it on y'all because of the role of the man, you know, provider, protector, prophet. All we have to do is submit. But even that, submission is hard work. But at the end of the day, when you have that person that is making you feel safe and doing those things for you, then it's easier to submit. Now, should it be a condition? No. You know, because at the end of the day, somebody wrote in the comments earlier about the table, something. What you say? What they say they want? What they bring to the table themselves? They are the table.
They say they are the table. And usually my response is, you don't bring nothing to the table but an appetite.
Right. Okay. So, but what you do when the legs on that table break, ladies, and fall down? Because you get old. Yeah. The hoo-ha will dry up. There will be things that happen to y'all in life. Then what? It has to be more to you than that, because y'all can get that anywhere.
Facts. We can get it anywhere, and depending upon the value of the dude, you can get it ridiculously often. Because men have options. I mean, shit, you know, we all have options, but as you get older, men tend to have way more options because of the things that women look for in men from an evolutionary perspective. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is like, it's a very profitable business to pander to women early on. Right, like we talked about a couple of examples today. Beyonce got insanely rich off of the feminism movement, but meanwhile she was married, right? Like, right, and like submissive to Jay. Yeah, yes, you know, there was a cheating allegation, stayed with him. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
cooking and cleaning.
listen, yeah, and you know, and then you get Cardi cooking clean, but she's married, right? So it's like you're leading with these different things and teaching about, you know, how to be sexually liberated, and I don't need no man, and men ain't shit, and 8-figure, like all of these different things. And I think that it's very profitable to lead with these things because the streams will continue, the products they will continue, all of the fake up from here all the way down to the bottom will continue. Shit, I saw an Instagram video not too long ago of a trip back from the Dominican Republic, and it was a line of women sitting in wheelchairs because of fake butts. And the thing is like I will not take a lady with a fake butt seriously. I don't know if they understand that, or if they're doing it just for the bag because they're a part of the sex industry. But if you're a commoner and that's what you do, like, dudes don't want that, right? Dudes don't want that. We'll like it on an Instagram photo. And I think, like, dude, and here's the thing. There's a component of the modern man today that enables the bullshit. Because if you go and you look from an analytics perspective on these Instagram posts and you look down, like, shit, I've done a couple of stories on IG models. And if still today you look down in their comments and you just like, God damn. And I say, starve the beast until it goes away. Starve it. So,
well, I mean, and even to that, there's an extent to which y'all will accept the bull. Y'all like, okay, this is good for the moment. This is good to look at. It might be good to touch and feel for the moment, but y'all not trying to wife that.
Yeah, that's big facts. That's big facts.
Yeah. Well, you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Talk to y'all soon.
Wait, hold on. I'm getting double. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. I was getting double audio. Thank you so much, Ms. Griffith. I appreciate you for calling through and spitting that knowledge. All right, you feel free to call back anytime. All right.
I will. Thank you.
All right, take care, guys. I wanted to play this real quick, just in order to make it a little bit more real for y'all. Hold up. Let me. Let me stop screen and then we're going to talk about this because actually one of the callers brought this up. And then we're going to talk about, I don't know if y'all saw this. I was going to do a video on it. So talking about this feminism and the movement therein. Hold up. I don't think you guys can hear it. Hold on. Let me remove. And then give me a second, guys. This is off the cuff. Share. Chrome tab, share audio.
Your hint. So I was reading an online article.
Okay, this is not going to do what I needed to do.
Your hint. So I was reading an online article to which I came across something that I didn't know about Gloria. It talks about
I'm about to get rid of StreamYard. I am tired. I am tired of StreamYard. It's always messing up. It's always messing up. All right, let me get this off the screen. Never mind. I was about to drop a bomb on y'all real quick. It's still playing.
And Gloria Steinem. What follows is a fact sheet about Gloria Steinem's operations against the various social and political movements in America, particularly her role in creating a hateful and virulent strain of Black feminism that attacks Black men while partnering with the white establishment. Steinem first came across the radar of Black men when she put a book called Black Macho and the Myth of the Superwoman by Michelle Wallace on the cover of Miss Magazine, which she controlled. Let's read on. The book was written by a Black feminist and activist, quote unquote, named Michelle Wallace, who came out of nowhere. She was in her early 20s, yet she was being touted as the leader of Black feminism. In the book, Wallace called abolitionists like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth ugly and stupid for supporting Black men. She called Black revolutionaries chauvinist macho pigs and advised Black women to go it alone. Go it alone? Do it alone? I don't know. But peep what Gloria said. Gloria Steinem said that Wallace's book would define the future of Black relationships.
And they lied to you.
To make sure the book received massive publicity. Define the future of Black relationships. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is the so-called Black feminist movement was created and manipulated by the CIA from the very beginning. The only difference between Black revolutionaries and Black feminists on this issue is that Black revolutionaries know they were infiltrated and manipulated, but Black feminists are still unwilling to admit that they were infiltrated and manipulated, largely because they are highly invested in the hateful brand of Black feminism. It is now a central part of the culture of Black women, and this fact has led to the destruction of the Black Revolution and the complete distortion of Black relationships.
They lied
and the
to you.
CIA had a direct hand in creating this situation. So, Black woman, Gloria Steinem, you're American journalist, feminist, social political activist, and CIA agent, she was used to cause disunity in the Black family through the use of feminism. Remember that book we read earlier, the one on the Black myth by Michelle? She said that would be the future for Black relationships. Nothing positive in that book was written about the Black men. They were putting them down. So the next time you think about supporting her, ask yourself.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They lied to you. They lied to you. This shit goes deep. This shit goes deep. Guys, if you're coming down into the lobby, please turn on your cameras. All right. Shout out to all the love that's coming through. Annalisa, thank you so much for the support. Sending love your way, MTR. Annalisa, thank you so much for the support, mama. Look at that. We got ladies that support the channel. I was actually looking at the numbers today on my Patreon. 10% are women. I didn't anticipate that, right? I didn't anticipate that. I was looking at my Discord server. I was like, shit, there's a lot of women up here. You know what I'm saying? But shout out. I appreciate that, Annalisa. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the Patreon gang, the Discord game as well. We're going to go right back down in there right after this conversation. All right, because we got to have a after party. We got to have a recap. We got to have a recap to this conversation, all right? Annalisa, thank you so much for the support, all right? Next to the stage. What up, Definite? How are you?
Doing all right, MTR. Man, love your content, man.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm assuming you disagree with something, though.
No. I don't. Well, I disagree with the with Carrie Hilson's comment about that conditional femininity.
Okay, if you can give me a bullet point or two of your thoughts, my brother.
Gotcha. So here's the thing with the conditional femininity. If women are saying, I will be feminine until I will be only feminine in these certain circumstances, when that man shows up that you really like, you're not going to be ready for him because you're not used to being feminine. Because let's take it to sports. If LeBron James said, I will only do my best until the game starts, I will only do my best until the playoffs, he will be trash for the entire season. That means he had to practice. He has to make sure that his P's and Q's are in order. He has to make sure all the screws aren't loose in his game, even in practice. So yes, it does help with women. It does help if the environment is created that that it promotes femininity. Okay, I get that. But if you're not used to being a woman around a man, all of your bad habits will come out eventually. So if you meet that man, he softens you up, your bad habits, your comfort zone, your lack of femininity will eventually come out. So that means you have to be feminine and get used to being feminine around men at all times instead of only on particular situations. So that's my
I appreciate that, brother. No, that's a good point too. I mean, and that's similar to the basketball analogy that I had as well. You know, the idea that you can sit on the bench and or sit on not in on the court as a normal player and watch King James be King James, and then think like at any given time, if the team that he plays on will call you, oh, I've been watching him for the last 10, 15 years, I could just turn it on. Nah, you got to put in the hours, the minutes today. You got to put him in 2 days. So at the point that the team does call, you a LeBron status or marriageable material. So I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with you, brother. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in, my G. Let me move on to the next caller. I appreciate your thoughts. Call back anytime. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Next to the stage, obstacles to opportunities. What's good, brother?
What's going on?
You called before, right?
Yes, sir. Is that against the rules? Just want to make sure it's not.
Yes, sir. No, you sound good, brother. All right, and a bullet pointer too. What's good?
Yeah, so since the brother did hit a great point in a counter argument, I am disagreeing, but I would also add an experience. I've lived overseas for about 16 years. And for some reason, when we talk about America, it becomes this Armageddon District 9 zone where everybody had to get it from the mud, and it's the survivability is so harsh. But I've been to countries that people didn't have a pot to piss in. I'm talking complete impoverishment. I'm talking about the lady who folded my laundry in Bangkok, had 3 master's degree, but she still folded my laundry. And I was a high school student at that time. But the people, especially the women, maintained their femininity, even through those harsh conditions of India, Thailand, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I mean, I can go on with the harsh environments that they live in across the world, that women do have to work 24/7 on their feet, but they still complete their femininity when they come into the household, because that is not a condition that could be dependent on another person. It has to be, or the kids will not receive. It has to be, or will not inspire the man that they're with to be that masculine man. And even when he's down, they still support. So this condition that is so hard and it's in the mud, and they had to get it in America from the mud, the government provides support in many different ways for women. I have not seen women on the streets in mass numbers, but when I go to different countries in this world and I live in them, not travel for a quick
live in them
for over a year plus, and I see massive amounts of women who even have to sometimes sell their children into brothels. It is harder out in this world. Most people in the world make $2,000 a year. And to actually make it seem like America's some condition where it's too hard to be a woman and be feminine, I call bluff on
bullshit.
Because there's about 7 billion people who live life differently.
Way harder, right? I mean, and even our forefathers and our foremothers lived way harder, but was much more in lines with this traditional understanding, right? So it's like, I'm just so confused. So I mean, is it the entitlement? Like, if you would have, and we may or may not have answers for this, but if you were to think about from a cultural perspective, right? Like, why is it so different in the Western world today? Why do we have so much more, right? But expect, right? Like this entitlement of this is it, and I'm going to turn this on if I see these different things from men. Like, why do you think that is?
Okay. I'll try to keep it brief, right? So my experience is vastly different from the West. I would say conceptional West. It's heavy, very opinionated and based, very individualistic. But from being in just the East and far Asia, I mean, people are more holistic. People are more community orientated. So even though you might have an opinion, you don't feel like it's your right to impose that opinion on someone else, because it's the group or the community that's looking over. So when you say, there's always this internal fight with some outside force that's always subjecting you to oppression, and you can't do nothing. You have this predisposition notion of what we talked about before, right? Someone's always oppressing us. We're always going to lose. And that's just conflict of the world. And that's how life exists. So there's always arguments outside the self, because in the Western world, there's not a lot of self-reflection and realizing the issues about themselves. Where if you look in other cultures that run off principles of Confucianism, the philosophy is about yin and yang, a balance. The philosophy is about awareness of the self in Buddhism. So people have the skills and the ability to reflect on the self and say, yes, there might be problems on the outside, but I must first control the self. Because that's the only thing that can control at the end of the day.
Accountability.
And I don't think that's in the West philosophy.
It's not. No, it's victimhood mentality. It's pointing the finger at the other that seems to be rife within our community, our culture, our society. And it's unbelievable. It's sad. It's unbelievable, you know, but we got to keep on having conversations about it, because I believe that the more that we do, the more that we can recalibrate, right, and get back to a place where we have a lot more wholeness between us, right?
And shout out to you, and we're going to have to talk on the side, man, about this real estate. So I got a bunch of good things going on with that. And I know you with it because you paid off your condo, so much respect to that. And we'll talk about that on the side, but thanks for everything. And shout out to the sister also for having some accountability. If more sisters here, elder sisters like that, and also younger sisters like that, then they'll be holding accountable. And then brothers like you will hold the brothers accountable. And maybe we can get some things pushing.
Maybe we can get some things pushing. Obstacles to opportunities. Wholeheartedly appreciate you, my brother. Let's chat on the side, all right? All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. These are the type of conversations that we like to have up here. You know, welcome. If this is your first time that's down into the building. My name is Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I go by MTR. We have cerebral, critical thinking, thought-provoking type conversations with amazing people. And it's my pleasure to provide this platform for you guys, okay? Next to the stage. What up, Nessa? You're muted, girl.
Sorry.
Patreon gang in the building. Nessa, what's good?
What's up?
Chilling.
Oh, I had to pop in real quick because I wanted to elaborate on something that you said. And I'm a little bit going to disagree with a piece of what you said. And you already know that I'm super logical and rational. So
let's do it.
My mind says that it's all circular. I mean, it's a vicious cycle. I mean, ultimately, what it comes down to is, and you know, I'm going to say it, but where do women learn how to be feminine? Do they learn it from their mothers or their fathers or both? They learn
asking me?
both, right? Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think the idea of femininity has to be, you have to see a woman being feminine to a man to really internalize it.
But also, I think that it does take the father's part to also make sure that a woman understands positive discernment when it comes to determining people and how masculine they are, right?
Yes.
So
what you're saying is so in other words, you have to watch the mother be feminine to the father, and then you have to watch the father be masculine to the mother.
Exactly, because it's positive relationship dynamic.
I agree.
So,
but we didn't disagree yet.
So,
right?
Well, earlier you were saying, you were like, well, you know, it comes from discernment and stuff like that, and it shouldn't be women placing the responsibility back on the men. So you already know me as a humanist, I place it on both parties to be at fault, because if a woman isn't showing their child, their daughter, how to be feminine, and a man who is the father is not also playing an active role in that little girl's life, there's the possibility and therefore the pitfall, right? Which can go to both parties, right? So ultimately, I would say that the lack of femininity or the conditional femininity comes from 1, a defense mechanism, 2, a failure to understand relationship dynamics as such is given in positive relationships as you watch your parents behave. Yeah. So I mean,
I don't disagree. However, okay. I think that there's multiple ways to go about this. I think the portion of the life cycle that you bring up is if the mother and the father was there. Right. Which we know in 70% of cases, they were not. Okay.
Correct.
So we both agree on that. So, but here's my contention is that if that was your normal, what are you doing to enable the femininity within your life? Right. Well, and that's when I say that, but that's when I say passively doing it versus actively doing it.
Sure.
Because men are actively working on their masculinity. They have to. In order to compete, we have to work on our masculinity because it is absolutely required. But within the Black community, this requirement from men that the women are feminine is new. It's new. So women lead with this idea of they are the table. You ask them what they bring and they say all these things that dudes don't even want.
Well, so I don't agree. I don't agree with all of that anyways. I think that women should bring more to the table and should absolutely be able to answer the question for themselves. And that is something you already know because of the Patreon, right? That I think comes from therapy and a high level of self-awareness. So self-awareness and knowing yourself is definitely one of the big things that I'm a proponent for. But I don't think that that's also, again, taught enough in the household, and the household comes from both parents, right?
I'm with you.
So that all I'm saying is the idea that we can't put all of the blame on men, but I say accountability falls on both parts when it comes to a broken home.
I don't disagree with you. I absolutely don't disagree with you. Okay. It's definitely both. It's definitely both. Shit, I went over a post earlier, the community chat post earlier today, and the young man was talking about this crazy situation that he's in with this girl who admitted that she was always in love with the guy that died. And my first question in thinking through it is like, why did you put a baby in her? Like, why didn't you figure these things? So my thing is that he has to take accountability for that at the end of the day.
Right.
But so many people take a look at that and just point at maybe the bad that she's done. But I still think that there's accountability that he needs to dig within his mind to understand, well, what brought him to this place where he allowed whatever it is that she did or whatever conditional femininity to get into a place to put in not one, but two babies in him. So to a degree, he's kind of locked. Right. Yeah. But like this idea that even if 70% of us are growing up in single parent households, what are you actively doing to work in on your femininity? And the most do not. The far majority do not. And they lead with the ideas within the culture that bring them farther away from being marriageable, being marriage material.
I agree. No, I agree with you on that. I think, again, the contention is just more so when we say it's not the fault of men, I'm kind of like, well, as a feminine woman, men are the leaders. So especially in a traditional dynamic, men are the leaders. And if they are showing proper leadership in the household, again, the single parent household is definitely problematic and stuff like that. And I definitely encourage women to let the fathers be a part of their children's lives. I think it's extremely important. But I just have to say that, I mean, they still make phones. They still make all these other things where you may not be able to be there, but you still have to play that active role for your daughter. I also think that women, perhaps that are mothers, are maybe not showing their daughters enough how to be feminine. So I agree with you in that sense, but I just wanted to make sure that I said that because earlier it sounded like you said, it's not the man's fault. And I'm like,
from a parental perspective, I can see
it's a little bit of both.
I can see from a parental perspective, but we also got to talk through that, there's some of these cases where the mother uses the child as leverage, right? Where the mother,
I certainly disagree with that. So
it's where the mother has, intentionally gotten pregnant to keep a man, right? Like, and then there's also flip situations where dudes will try to get women pregnant, right? Like, we don't talk about that often on channels as well, right? So like, the idea that babies heal things, and you forget that you got to be there for them to teach them the most amount of the most valuable things that you absolutely can, in order to make them a fantastic contributor of society. But
right.
this is a real issue when you know that the single parent rate is as high as what it is, on top of the westernized culture that we live in, right? Which plays the victim role mentality as it's a goddamn trap card, right?
Right.
Mixed in with this idea of conditions to femininity as opposed to leading with femininity, which more often than not will get you selected more when it is true and innate to yourself. And what are you doing to increase your nurturing ability, right? Enhance your emotional capability, your emotional understanding, right? Because this, as I said before, I think dudes need emotional security as well. You know, dudes need, you know, sometimes, and that's one of the things that we talk about on this channel. It's so bad. One of the things that we always talk about is, if you got shit that's going on, don't tell your girl. Tell your mom and your best friends and your best guy friends. Don't tell your girl. But that's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, again, that goes to, and I'm sorry, but like, you know, that also goes to the discernment of a man as well. I mean, if you are choosing a woman who is not soft, who is not kind, who is not empathetic, who is not, you know, willing to listen, who is not willing to, you know what I mean, let you lead. If you are choosing that woman, that is also on you. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. I think that women do that. I do think that women do that. So what would I say to, you know, young men? I would say, choose wisely. That is always, you already know this, my key phrase, choose wisely at all times, as much as you can, because ultimately your wisdom and the way that you choose is going to be the deciding factor for those single parent households or not.
Choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? Stop going in them raw daddy. Okay. If you're if you got no plans for them, get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Nessa, thank you so much, mama, for calling through. I appreciate you. All right.
You're welcome. See you around.
That was yeah, we will. I'm gonna be back in the Discord server right after this.
All right, cool.
All right, appreciate you. Fantastic. That was the first real disagreement. Next to the stage. Oh, it was working a second ago. April. She's still in my lobby. I can see her face, but it's not popping up on the screen. Oh, she just left. I'm going to put this back down up in here. Here's the thing. I think discernment is important. Choosing those that are not toxic in nature, choosing those that are not conditional with their femininity, because at the sign, at the time, at the point that shit goes wrong, they're going to get masculine on your ass. Yeah, there's a point of discernment within guys as well. Okay. But guys want and are turned on by and large, by en masse, feminine women. Okay. But the society, the culture doesn't lead with the positives of femininity. They don't. It absolutely doesn't. All right. Next to the stage, Ed Zone. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
Chilling, bro. All right. What do you disagree with?
No. Actually, I agree pretty much with everything you're saying. I just wanted to add some of my points to the discussion.
Okay, good. just give me 1 point.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so basically, men and women have, had established gender roles for hundreds of thousands of years, right? And because we're going through this anything goes type of society that we're living in nowadays, they're trying to undo everything that's been working in hundreds of thousands of years within the past 50. They've been trying to undo whatever's been natural, and nature always wins. So when you have women trying to be selectively feminine, they're going to find that doesn't work. That's why you see so many women, like studies are showing so many women are more unhappy than they've ever been, because they're going against what's been working for hundreds of thousands of years for humans, and nature always wins. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. What was there anything? So you disagree with the Carrie Hilson post?
Yes, I do. I do disagree with a lot of what Carrie Hilson is saying because, like I said, one of the biggest issues that we're having nowadays, right, is that men and women have forgotten that the interaction between us should be a dance, not a war. Which is why you're having this whole battle of the sexes thing going on here, and why you're having posts like the one that Carrie Hilson made, like "I'll be feminine when I want to be," because we're having like a lot of women and a lot of men nowadays who have a chip on their shoulder, so they're looking at they're looking at this as if we're two sides of a war instead of two pieces with different mindsets and different purposes that should be working together to create communities. And then when you have men and women who inherently nowadays in general don't really like each other or don't really get along with each other, that is what creates that family breakdown. That's why you're seeing so many single mother households, because instead and I'm just going to be frank, I'm just going to use frank language here, because of because of the warlike mindset that is on both sides. You have a lot of children being born out of a fuck instead of into a family, right? You have a lot of babies born out of fornication instead of into a family, because you have women who are like, I can do it on my own. You have women saying, I don't need a man. You have women trying to compete against men, and vice versa. You have men trying to compete against women. But here's the thing, men nowadays, and the way people raise their sons, they raise their sons to have a certain type of integrity, to have a certain type of altruism, and to be consistent in how they act, right? So a lot of men are raised to be consistently masculine, or at least try to be consistently masculine. But not too many people are raising their daughters to be consistently feminine. It's as we were saying before. If you're going to be feminine, if you're truly feminine, you're not going to be able to turn it on and off. What a feminine woman will do when she encounters a weak man or a man who's not that masculine, what she's going to do is she'll distance herself from that man, but she won't try to bully him. She won't try to challenge him. She won't try to buck up to him as if she's a dude. She's just going to realize that I'm not really safe around this man who's not masculine, so I'm going to remove myself from the situation. That's what a feminine woman would do. She's not going to try to go to war with him.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, bro, for calling in. I appreciate all those points. All right.
No doubt, no doubt. And like I said,
all right, brother. Next to the stage, Gary Grant. Uncle Gary, what's good, my G?
I'm good, little brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. All right, I need to hear some fire real quick.
Okay.
Come on, break it down, bro.
All right. Your young little lady talking about men's fault with the parenting craziness. It can never be 50-50 because the man only has the right before sex. After that, he loses all right. Most of these babies that we have is from lonely women thinking that they can trap man or something to love them. Men are getting too emotional trying to understand women. It's an impossibility, brother. Women don't understand themselves. Most of these households with single parents, 95% of them are with women. Sorry to say. Most men go to have sex. They don't go to have children.
And I heard an interesting stat the other day, and it was to say that 60% of single mothers have a child by more than one dude.
That's a fact. Because
and I heard that, and I was like, oh my God.
All right. My lady has two friends. They're both in their 40s. They have children in their 20s. Guess what they went and did again?
Talk to me.
They had children. They have a 27-year-old and a 4-year-old. Guess what they don't have? A husband. Now, I can understand us making a mistake once.
Yeah.
You go through it. You succeed. How do you do it again? But
it's so crazy because, like, I don't know if people just think that like they get do-overs in life and stuff or something like that, but it's so important to make the right decisions early. But you know what though? You know what though? It's just like, but if you think about the culture, the ones that put up Father's Day, right? Father's Day, they put up Father's Day post, but it's women, right? right? Like the idea of getting pregnant, becoming a mother, right? Like it's not like something like it used to be something that was more shamed, like when it happened. You know what I'm saying? Like to do it out of not even just wedlock, but not even in a situation that's being taken seriously, right? Like you're not cohabitating, like all of these different things, right? It just so when that's the culture that pushes all of these different things, I guess that I get why so many just follow that because it gives them an easy way out.
So you're saying that we're monkeys?
We're lemmings. We're tribal people at the end of the day, and we're lemmings at the end of the day.
When I say we're monkeys, like remember, monkey see, monkey do. Understand? So we can say all these situations cause this, but when it comes down to it, we are the highest up on the evolutionary scales of the animals on Earth. Are you telling me that we can't make the simple decision that before we have a child, we couple up?
Yeah.
Most of, especially of our people, the women that get pregnant, they're not even with the man before the baby's born. But in the end, it's the man's fault for not being there for the baby.
Oh.
I don't know how is that possible.
When they have the 30 forms of birth control that they can use as a in stark contrast to the amount that we have
we get a condom
availability to. Yeah. And then the other one is surgery.
Oh my god. No, not that.
Yeah, no, I ain't.
No, if you want to get a butt lift for boobs, we can take care of that quick. Let's not take care of a responsibility. Now, I'm sorry to say, ladies, y'all got to start helping yourself. Stop having sex with the same dudes. If dude's got 2 baby mothers, you can't change him. It won't work. I'm sorry. If 3 dudes in Tennessee can have 72 kids with 42 women, you think they're going to change?
No.
All right.
Big facts. Uncle Gary Grant in the building came through, slided in with the facts, the datas, the numbers, what's actually going on in these streets.
And stop being so nice to them women. Be straight up because it's not your fault because you got no control. Okay? And men, don't fight to go see no child if the woman's making it hard for you. And don't feel bad about it. Make your life. You should never have to fight to see your child. Because what you have to give the child as a man, a woman can never give.
Uncle Gary
Fight for
Grant
yourself.
Came
and
through
my little nephew, you take care, man.
Yes, sir. It's so good to see you here 2 years
I'm
later.
sorry I don't have a camera and stuff one of these days.
Yeah. One of these days we're going to get you to come up here with the visuals on. You're the only person I lit up here without a camera on. You know what I'm saying? That's the love. I appreciate you, Unc. All right?
One love and one respect for you, my little brother. You take good care of yourself.
I appreciate you. All right?
Peace, my bro.
Uncle Gary Grant in the building. Came in with the smooth Unc swag. Came in with the smooth Unc swag. Next to the stage, Elaine. How are you, mama? Your audio's muted. There you go.
I got it. Hi.
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm doing exquisite.
Great.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
What do you disagree with? I feel like you disagree.
I do.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Okay. So I don't follow Carrie Hilson a lot, but when I did see that comment, the first thing that I thought about was I think it was taken out of context by a lot of the men. I think what Carrie Hilson is trying to say is that as women, we can be nurturers, we can be cooperative, we can be empathetic, we can be all those feminine things. But if we're not in a comfortable space to just let our guard down and do all the, I guess what you would call ultra feminine qualities, we're not going to exhibit those qualities. I use myself for an example. Before I found my current partner, I was with someone, and I mean, you know, I displayed all the feminine qualities, but the things that he wanted for me to do, I did not do those things because I did not feel comfortable to do what I would consider wifey duties, if that makes sense. So I think that's what Carrie Hilson meant. Maybe she didn't say it exactly how she should have, but I think it's kind of being taken out of context by everyone.
Okay, and I'm trying to understand the context that you're saying that it's being taken out of. That's different than, how long were you in the stream?
Well, I think let's see, you've been going for an hour and 35 minutes, so probably about an hour
okay.
and 5 minutes.
Okay. So the idea, I don't think that what you just said was taken out of context of anything that I said either in the live stream tonight or the video. I've actually said multiple times that these comments stand alone. I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying that I don't is the idea that two couple of things. Number one, that men should be very keen on those that exhibit fake femininity or conditional femininity. They should be very keen on those. Right now, it's not to say that in different stages in a relationship unlock different levels of submission and kind of all of these different things. That's not what I'm saying. But I say you should be very keen to know the tricksters, because one of the things that will get dudes caught up is the switch up. The second point that I put into contention is this idea that femininity has a switch. The analogies that we talked through before was this idea that you can be LeBron, right? And compare yourself to a LeBron by sitting and watching on the couch. And at the point that the team calls you to come and play, you claim that you can play like LeBron. So my argument within that is that way more women are passively living their lives and practicing true and utter femininity. While men, it's a requirement to be masculine. It's a requirement, it's an expectation, and it's normalized within our culture, and it's been driven by decades of female-driven media that has told men what is it that y'all want. But now there's a bubbling up of male media that's saying, oh no, we expect shit too.
Right.
And the majority of the modern ladies today, cooking, you ask them about cooking and they lose their mind, right? And the only thing that they bring to the table is an appetite at the end of the day, right? And some viscous innards, right? So the thing is like, so I understand your point. I don't think that I took it out of context. And I say oftentimes in the platform that women need a place to nest, and they can do that within the guidance of a strong masculine dude. So I hold the dudes up here accountable as to say, just because you're a man doesn't mean that she should submit to you. How wise are you about this world, right? What are the instruments that you've put within your toolkit, right? To go in and command a high salary from, right? Like, or a high degree or a high education, or like all of these different things, because again, she wants security. She wants protection. So I'm saying all this to say, I don't think that we necessarily disagree on what it is that you entered in at, but I do think that, more women need to hold more women accountable about the importance of femininity, what actually femininity actually is, because there's an overwhelming sentiment that being feminine is being weak. Do you agree or disagree with that? Okay. Would you not agree that most women think femininity is weak?
I think most women think femininity is weak because of the modern definition of it, if that makes sense.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
But femininity makes dudes melt. So, but you have a whole culture of women that don't understand the importance of it, don't want to leverage it, don't want to tap into it. You talk about the components about nurturing a dude, and they're like, I'm independent. I don't need no man. Men ain't shit. With WAP touching the floor every other weekend and getting cheeks clapped by the Tyrones and expecting me to accept your high degree and level of body count. Not you specifically. I don't know you from a hole in the wall, right? To the point of, you got women out here that are convinced that my body count is equal to their body count. When I have an Audi and they have an innie, when I can't get pregnant, but they can. This is the reality today. This is the modern reality today. So we have to address these different things. You know what I'm saying? Is this not am I not painting a picture about what's actually realistically happening today? Or is what I'm saying far off base? or is the marriage numbers just not true, right? Like there's Black women, 30% of Black women are getting married today. And I'd argue 90 to 95% actually want to get married. So there's something that's going on there. And I think that it's not the men's complete and utter fault, the way that the narrative has chosen to display itself over the past several decades.
You know what? I do agree with that.
Oh, I do. Okay. Well, I'm glad I made you a believer. Anything else to share with us?
Well, I watch your channel a lot. My boyfriend and I watch it all the time. So
shout out to the boyfriend. He want to come on camera real quick and say what up?
He doesn't.
It's all good. It's all good. He doesn't
even know why I called in. So
listen, it was a fantastic point, though. I wholeheartedly appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And I thank you for calling in. All right.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome back anytime. Thank you, Mama. Bye. Peace. Guys, conditional femininity to me is the modern woman's excuse to control men. Okay. I think it's an excuse. It's an excuse to not lead with your feminine energy. Now, is there levels to this shit? Yeah. Okay. There's levels to this shit. What you might do in the beginning of a relationship phase is different than those that are already married, but I think that's not what it is that we're really talking about. The modern woman today, by and large, by en masse, doesn't respect what even femininity is. I keep saying a couple of words around femininity makes dudes melt. Well, if the modern lady doesn't respect it, by and large, by en masse, shit, we just had content a couple of months ago regarding the word submission. And that's one of my comment section blew up. Submit to who? What? Oh, so you're looking for a partner. You're looking for this modern definition of a man. And majority of us are not that. At the end of the day, if Carrie Hilson, as beautiful as what she is, if she can't find nobody to keep, this should be the modern lady wake-up call. All right? Guys, that's what I'm going to leave this conversation here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to be down into my Discord server right now. Guys, the link right there, patreon.com/MTandR. Click on that link. Beam yourself up. Let's continue to have these conversations. Let's continue to have these conversations so we can understand what balance actually looks like. So we can continue to prove in on ourselves going into the future. We focus on data, number, facts, statistics. We focus on facts over feelings. If you support the stream, hit on that like button. If you support the stream, share this video. If you support this stream, support the stream. All right? Make sure you guys are commenting. Make sure you guys are going up to manstigate.com and using promo code MTR. Listen, let me talk to y'all real quick because everyone's like leaving. All the real subscribers are really staying up right now. Guys, do you guys understand how ridiculous that it is that this space right here is getting attention from real advertisers? When we talk about how real that this is, that what it is that we are creating, okay? And this won't be the first, and this has not been the first. I've had offers to do shit, but I like the product. I really, really enjoy the product because they's as smooth as eggs right now. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. They smooth. It's clean down there. All right? But in order for mainstream companies, right, that are viable in nature to come down into the space and show love, support, and respect, we're a force to be reckoned with. You understand me? So I appreciate you guys. This is your platform at the end of the day, okay? This wouldn't move nowhere without your support, without your love, and without your help. Again, the Discord is connected to my Patreon, all right? Go up to my Patreon. Click on the link. The link's in the description box down below. Put that in your URL. Go take a look at the tiers. The Discord is open. you appreciate, you want to make sure to support that we can continue to do content like this, that's how you can also do it as well. Shout out to all the super chats tonight. I apologize for the ones that I wasn't able to get through. All right. But I had to keep on cooking here. All right. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.